Brian Kinney, 5 Seasons CrossFit, lesson 5. We're talking about scaling. So if we come up here to our workout, we have 5 rounds for time of 100 double unders and 10 bar muscle ups. And we're looking to finish that anywhere between 12 and 17 minutes. So since we don't have any weights or anything like that, we're really just looking at adjusting the level of skill required for each one of these movements. So if we come over here to our 3 different levels, beginner, intermediate, and potentially injured. First, for beginner, I'm going to have them actually take the rope out of it. So we're not going to have to worry about any sort of skill involved, and we're just going to have them do line hops. So still looking to get the same sort of cardio response from that movement. So having them jump forwards and backwards just over a line on the ground or side to side, whatever. But not having to worry really about any sort of skill that they might have there. We're just looking at the movement that we're going to get the response that we want from it. So line hops for beginner. If we move over to intermediate, we can add that rope back in. Maybe we do have the ability to kind of move that and string a few reps together on the rope, but maybe we just don't have double unders just yet. So we'll have them do single unders. So just making it a little bit easier there as far as the skill is concerned. And then over to potential injury. Again, it's going to depend what their injury is, but in a little bit more of a controlled movement, we're going to have them do plate step-ups. Doesn't even need to be necessarily a super high plate, like a 45 or something like that. Could even be just like a 10, but getting them just to step, get both feet on top of the plate, and then both feet off the plate. If we move with kind of enough speed and enough intention, we can still get the same kind of response that we would if we were jumping rope. So plate step-ups, a little bit more of a controlled movement there. And then for our 10 bar muscle ups, again, for beginner, looking at doing ring rows. So again, a little bit more controlled there. Not a lot of skill required for that necessarily. We can kind of just more focus on the setup and then adjusting our feet based on the amount of strength that we have. So we can adjust that very easily by walking the feet in or out from the rings and make those as easy or as difficult as the individual needs. And then for intermediate, we might be maybe above the level of ring rows, still not quite to the point where we can do a bar muscle up, maybe even assisted yet. So we're going to have them do pull-ups instead. So again, if we need to, we can certainly ban those or assist them if we need, but just not quite getting to the point where we're ready to do maybe a full bar muscle up yet, even if it's assisted. So pull-ups, just getting from locked out elbow in the bottom to chin over the bar in the top, and then again, assisting as needed with any bands or anything of that nature. And then for injury category, again, depending on what the injury is, a little bit more in a controlled environment here, looking at maybe having them do some bent over rows. So still targeting the same muscle groups, the same general movement pattern, but the bent over row is, again, going to be just a little bit more of a controlled movement there. Can do it with dumbbells, can do it with a barbell, again, depending on what their injury is, but it's just going to allow us to adjust based on their individual needs, again, depending on what their injury might be. So again, looking at 5 rounds for time, 100 double unders, 10 bar muscle ups, beginner, intermediate, and injured. Some different options there for the individual based on their needs.